So something happened at Chiefs camp today that changed the entire mood on that practice field. And it wasn't a play, it wasn't a stat, it was a single person walking back onto the grass. So I went through every report and every quote from today's practice so you don't have to. Eric Bieniemy returned to Chiefs training camp today, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody was super pumped today, players, fans, everyone. Nate Taylor caught Andy Reid's words on the situation directly after practice, and we got the update that everybody needed to hear. The primary is that Mia is stable. Reid talked to Bieniemy several times a day while he was gone. That's the real story here, and it's actually a good one.
Listen, I talked to him several times a day, so I knew he was coming back. If everything worked out the way it had been, so. The primary thing is that Mia is stable and in good hands and that she's doing well. So that was the primary thing with it.
His wife is stable and Bieniemy is back where he wants to be. In the moment that he walked onto the field, you could see what his presence means to this team. Matt Derrick captured Bieniemy getting a hug from the voice of Chiefs Kingdom himself, Mitch Holthus. Taylor Bird's video showed players crowding around him, shaking his hand, giving him hugs, genuinely fired up to have him back in the building. But here's what tells you everything about this man. Ron Kopp Jr. reported that before the starting offense had even run their first play, he already heard Bieniemy on the field yelling at somebody to get out of the huddle. Kopp's response says it all there. We're so back. Bieniemy didn't ease back in. He went straight to coaching. Matt Foster watched him plant himself right the defensive back's drill, close enough that Foster joked, EB the DB. And when Brashard Smith was working on pass pro reps, hands was the one word Bieniemy kept coaching up through the entire period. Tight end Jake Brenningstool put words to what everyone on the field was feeling. He told reporters, his energy, it's infectious. It's great to have him back out here. That's the story of today's practice in one line. And to the injuries, Trey Smith missed his third straight day of practice, but Pete Sweeney brought the update that you want to hear. Andy Reid confirmed directly that Smith's hip issue is a short-term injury, not a long-term concern. With Smith out, it's once again Khalil Benson at right guard with Jalen Moore sliding to the right tackle. And Benson is more than holding his own in there. Chiefs starting left guard Kingsley Suamataia called him an incredible athlete and said that the communication between them had been really good. Reid backed that up himself, telling reporters that giving Benson reps at right guard will only help him even at tackle when he has to jump back over there. A super quick pause because I want to make sure you're locked in for the rest of this one. If you're enjoying these camp updates, hit like and hype. We're going for 700 likes and 30,000 hype on this video. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do it now. We're pushing to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Now here's a name Chiefs Kingdom has been waiting on. Xavier Worthy is back in pads. Steve Walls caught him on the field working with Rashee Rice and Tyquan Thornton. By the time today's session had wrapped up, Foster reported the Chiefs had their full complement of receivers available and working. That's huge. That's the receiver room that you want heading into the season. Pete Sweeney also tracked 3 more names returning to the field Monday. Christian Fulton, Ashton Gelati, and Xavier Worthy all back at one time. Stay with me on Gelati though, because that update shifted as the day went on. Matt Derrick reported later that he was heading to the training tent to rehab on the side. Not a setback anyone is panicking over, just something worth tracking as the week continues. Still out was also cornerback L'Jarius Sneed and linebacker Drew Tranquil, who Katie Marr reported had no pads on once again. And Mansour Delane's rehab is trending in the right direction. He was seen out there still in the yellow non-contact jersey early in the day. But these guys caught some real progress by the time practice had ended. Delane took part in 7-on-7 in pads for the first time all camp and even got reps covering Travis Kelce and Tyquan Thornton. That's meaningful movement for a guy working his way back in here, especially that first-round draft pick. If you're looking for the name getting more real estate in this offense than almost anyone right now, it's Cyrus Allen. Sam McDowell reported Allen taking reps in 11s today, and Matt Derrick confirmed why that matters. It's the first time this camp that Allen and Rashee Rice have both taken 11-on-11 reps on the same day. Whatever role this turns into, you're watching it get built in real time. Speaking of Rashee Rice, he capped a strong day with a touchdown in 7-on-7 according to Ron Kopp Jr. Stick with me, because Mahomes wasn't done finding people in the end zone. Kenneth Walker III also caught a touchdown pass from Mahomes in 11-on-11, and Matt McMullen didn't hold back on what he's seeing from him so far. Walker continues to make plays every day. He's as advertised. Then McMullen turned his attention to Tyquan Thornton, who put together his best practice of camp. Mahomes found him up the seam through coverage and 7-on-7, then connected with him again deep down the sideline later in the same period. And Mahomes kept spreading the ball. He was actually seen throwing a no-look pass to Noah Gray in 7-on-7, and later in the day, a touchdown to Travis Kelce. And here's a rep worth slowing down a little bit for, just because it's kind of funny, but Matt Foster caught former Iowa defensive back Xavier Wampa laying a big hit on former Nebraska running back Emmett Johnson at the end of a play. Foster called it exactly what it looked like: the college rivalry carrying straight over into an NFL practice. That's the kind of competitive edge Chiefs Kingdom wants to see out of a young defense.
Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's episode. Today we're going to do a little NFL Week 1 action. We're going to take Derrick Henry versus the Indianapolis Colts, 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. We're going more on that. Derrick Henry is getting into the end zone Week 1. Jamar Chase versus Tampa Bay, 0.5 rushing or receiving touchdowns. We're going to take more on that as well. And then down here at the bottom, I see our boy Kenneth Walker out of the Kansas City Chiefs versus Denver on Monday Night Football, rushing plus receiving touchdowns, 0.5. We're going more there as well. If you want to follow along with all of these picks, follow us at All Chiefed Up on Prize Picks. You can download the app in the description, and as always, use code HMA when signing up. Now back to the show.
A few more storylines worth catching up before we wrap. Nick Bolton is seeing real progress from the young pass rush, and that's huge news for the fan base who's been worrying about it. Charles Goldman reported Bolton's take on R. Mason Thomas and Peter Woods. He said they've been good about not making the same mistake twice, and they've done a good job keeping them clean. Bolton says he's excited to see them in preseason. Bolton also praised the linebacker depth behind him. Here's what he had to say about Bosa and Cochran. Guys are doing a great job of picking up other people. X's and O's wise, we're not worried about it. Those guys have been fantastic and available when we need them. Leadership is showing up in the quotes too. Andy Reid was asked about Travis Kelce's role with the young guys, and here's what he had to say. He's great for the young guys. He shares that energy with them. He's not afraid to get on guys either. Jake Brenningstool backed that up from the inside, telling reporters that Kelce's been like a big brother to him, calling him a Hall of Famer on the field and off the field, and saying it's been a blessing to watch him and study up close to him. That tight end room has a real competition brewing behind Kelce. Charles Goldman reported Reid naming Jared Wiley, Jake Brenningstool, and Trey Watson all in the mix for that third tight end spot, and Reid thinks preseason could end up deciding that. And just one more from the veteran leadership column. Nick Bolton told Sports Radio 810 it was great having Tyrann Mathieu around practice last week, helping out both the vets and the new guys. And that's pretty much everything from today's practice. If Chiefs Kingdom felt that energy shift the moment EB walked back on that field, hit that like and subscribe button now so you don't miss how this week plays out. Also, if you didn't get a chance to catch up on last week's practices, make sure to watch this video now and get caught up. We'll meet you over there.